When Heidi Turned 50, the Heidi Williams story.
Bold, eccentric, tall, athletic, stunning, tall, inscrutable, serpentine, and tall. These are all words that have been used to describe Heidi Williams by Heidi Williams. Join us on an epic, strange, often horrifying journey through the life of this social media mogul, this mighty Montanan, this dedicated athlete and journalist, the mom, the myth, the legend, Heidi Lynn Williams. Heidi was born in the harsh dredges of Missoula, Montana, on January 8, 1972 to Frank and Margaret Williams. She was their second child, after her older sister Mary Pat Williams. The precocious child attended Target Range Elementary School, where her athletic ability became immediately clear. The 7'2" 5th grader dominated all Montana elementary school athletic activities, from soccer to basketball to full contact rugby to bear taming to buffalo chucking. Soon she would take her skills to the big leagues, Big Sky High School. There she and best friend Kelly Pilcher would lead the Eagles to world dominance on a volleyball and basketball court, racking up 5 state championships, 2 in basketball and 2 in volleyball, plus 1 in track and field. Heidi was a beast in track and field, claiming 3 individual state championships, 2 in the triple jump and 1 in the high jump, and she also ran the 400, the relay, and the 300 hurdles. But it wasn't all trophies and medals. In her junior year, she no-highted at the state track finals, failing to clear the bar in her 3 jump attempts. Her father, known for filming every sporting event Heidi ever participated in and cataloging them in a DVD library, was not seen for 6 months. Dating was an enduring problem in high school for Heidi, as well as in college, after college, even to this day. A specific problem was finding partners of suitable height. Her parents were old-fashioned and only approved of partners being 6'2" or above. Fashion was also a concern, as Heidi grew through the times and broke hip new fashion trends that would catapult the world of high-end clothing to the modern era. Was this outfit a good choice? Debatable. Heidi's next life step would be a full-ride volleyball scholarship to the University of Montana, where success would continue to plague her. This era of U of M has entered recorded history as AH, the age of Heidi. The Lady Grizz would win their first conference championship in many years during Heidi's reign. She set a U of M track record in the high jump that hadn't been broken for a quarter century. She held that record until someone described by Frank Williams as a short woman, she was allegedly 6'1", broke Heidi's record a week later. The age of Heidi ended, and Frank once again disappeared in shame. Her college legacy continues to this day, as some of Heidi's lifelong friendships were made during these years. Key among those was Sherry Roth, who would demand Heidi serve as her wingwoman for the next 3 decades of men, mai tais, and mischief. Fellow teammates Jen Moran and Linda Carroll would also join Heidi in studying for finals and following good behavior. We definitely photoshopped that. In college, Heidi would find her dating stride, and she and football star Michael Gokachia, Gok to his friends, stud muffin to Heidi, would be campus darlings. And Gogo Choo Choo would go on to become a smoke jump wildland firefighter and bigwig in the Forest Service, once again leaving her father disappointed, this time that her eventual husband, Andre Meunier, was no Michael Gokahakaluki. Graduation brought a new phase of life, journalism. Heidi got her first job out of college at a newspaper in Bremerton, and she moved to the Pacific Northwest. There she met Randy Mishler, and her life would change once again in dramatic fashion. Baby Connor arrived on November 19th, 1996. He was an easy baby. Connor was known for confusing night and day, a stubbornness that continues today. Her career took them to the Arizona Republic, then the Longview Daily News, as Heidi wilted in Arizona and longed for a return to the green of the Pacific Northwest. In Longview, Heidi and Randy would have a second boy, Noah, on October 4th, 1999. Despite her obvious preference for her older son, Heidi loved Noah from an early age, frequently describing him as adequate and doesn't really look like me, and who? Both of her children have been chastised by their mother for making goofy faces in every photo they've ever been in. They had no idea where they got that from. No idea, Mom. No idea. The year 2001 would also bring dramatic change when Heidi landed her dream job at the Oregonian in Portland. Heidi spent the next few years traveling the deep, dark underbelly of the Vancouver area, dragging her sons along for the ride as they lived off scraps and fought to survive. Life eventually settled down. Heidi found a house in the suburbs. Her children were pure joys to be around and the best students elementary school could ask for. They almost daily brought her breakfast in bed. They got a pet fish, the fish got a bush, they got a turtle, Heidi rekindled her love of ABBA, life was good. Then, disaster. A serious problem entered Heidi's life, a problem that endures to this day. In 2010, Heidi made what many have called her most questionable decision since the perm. She took her problem and married it. Some question whether Andre, at a generous 5'10", reached the Williams family height requirement, but Heidi was getting older and compromises had to be made. It was often thought Heidi's "I'm going to kill you" look was invented for Andre, but evidence of it existing before Andre recently surfaced. Her and new husband Andre Mooner would become a blended family with his 2.5 children, Andre, Anna, and the other one. Together they embarked on a new, crazy journey together. It included what has come to be known as the avocado incident. It is no longer spoken about. Of all the roles Heidi has played in her life, athlete, journalist, inventor of fish hacky sack, the role of mother was the most satisfying and the most dreaded. 4 of her 5 children provided Heidi with a wild variety of challenges, gray hairs, and nightmares. Noah was allegedly off robbing liquor stores, and Nasha was having wild parties, and Andre was breaking the lawnmower, and Annika was just annoying. But Heidi always knew she could count on her firstborn, favorite, and most importantly, tallest son Connor, who did not write this script. Regardless of what kid she clearly preferred, Heidi loved all of her children and loved spending time with them, and proved to be the role model that encouraged their growth in life. Now, with her children having fled the nest and finding their own ways in life, and Heidi moving on to a new career as a top-level influencer, she has reached the 50th year of her saga. Her legacy of enjoying fine food and wine is established, despite all the Bikram hot yoga, Bar3, and Pelotoning virtually guaranteeing Heidi a lifespan of close to 400 years. 50 is still an important milestone. This birthday is the biggest event of the year for everyone in existence, and all of Heidi's family and friends have some things they want to tell her.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Big Butt Blondie.
Hey Hyde, I'm so excited to be able to celebrate your 50th birthday with you.
Happy birthday, Heidi. My brave, strong, fiercely independent daughter.
Hi Heidi, happy birthday. It's your 50th birthday.
Hi Heidi, happy 29th birthday.
Wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. Unbelievable, 50 years old, tremendous, you look great.
Happy 50th birthday, honey. How do you even begin to explain a lifetime of friendship?
Happy birthday, Heidi. I am so grateful to have you as a part of my life.
But I also want to get something off my chest.
We have a very special episode in store for you today as we are celebrating Heidi's 50th birthday.
Hello, my name is Andre Meunier. I am 58 years old. I am making this video of my free will and good conscience.
And even though I'm your older sister, I don't really have very much advice to give to you. In fact, I've been learning things from you your whole life, even though you didn't know it.
Recently, I found out that you taught me my first curse word.
In honor of you, of your birthday, I've knocked out my 2 front teeth. And I also had an avocado for breakfast this morning.
You know, previously I was unaware of this fact, and it's shed a lot of things to light. And honestly, I think it's the reason that I've cursed so much these past 36 years. And so, you know, because of that, I think there's probably quite a few people that you should apologize to.
Well, you were born in 1972, and that makes you were around, you were living at the same time there were some people that witnessed the Civil War.
I'll take the bullet here, and I'll apologize on your behalf. So I'd like to do that right now with this video.
Luckily, for this little presentation, I was given a pop quiz by Andre. So he made up this pop quiz. I'm going to ace this sucker. The first question is, what 3 words describe Heidi? I picked compassionate, competent, competitive.
Montana.
Very dedicated.
Speed.
That's a drug.
Long jump. Triple
Sports,
jump.
college journalism.
Creek. The M height.
Social media.
Portland State.
Yeah, university.
Reels.
All I can tell you is how incredibly grateful and happy and lucky I am that you are in my life and that you're on my kids' lives. You have transformed me, you have transformed my life, you have brought such a force of nature into all of our lives.
Mom is more a force of nature than a human being. She is strong, frequently funny, I think she killed a man.
From the time you were 8, and I dropped you off at horse camp alone for a week, till you struck off on your own for your career in journalism after college, you've always had a thirst for independence.
Heidi, you are the most creative, smartest person I think that I've ever met in my life.
I'll start with Miss Ebel, who in, I believe it was 5th grade, I got kicked out of her class for telling Tyler Sand he was full of shit and he didn't get in a street fight with Mike Tyson. Miss Ebel, on behalf of Heidi, I'm sorry.
Impressive as a journalist, as a mom, as an athlete, as a loving daughter who now takes care of me. And then you excelled at being a step-parent. Arguably the most difficult job.
How has Heidi inspired you?
She's kind of taught me to just yell, and also punch people in the throat.
Congratulations on your new position at PSU. That's so cool. I'm really happy for you. Glad that you're getting recognized for your excellence.
Thank you for everything that you are, and I don't have any idea how many high school Montana records you hold. I don't. I think it's somewhere around 38 with 14 state championships, and I will continue to expand on that. And the reason for that is just because you are such a huge presence in my mind and in my life that there's just like no limits to Heidi Williams.
So instead of me talking about anything, I put together a little presentation to tell you all of the lessons that I've learned from you.
Are really clear, so beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better do what you can. Don't wanna see no blood, don't be a macho man. You wanna be tough, better do what you can, so beat it. But you wanna be bad, just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it.
Next question is what do you believe Heidi is the most passionate about? Her kids first, her family, wine, and maybe politics, especially in regards to women's rights.
Montana Pride.
Montana Pride, she's very about the Montana Pride. PSU Pride she's adopted.
Me watching her PSU story.
Mom is passionate about her family and wine.
Punching people in the throat.
Is that really what we're proud of?
Hiking to M.
She's proud of that.
A nice Pinot Gris.
One may wonder, what does someone as fabulous as Heidi Williams do on a 50th birthday? Perhaps she's jet-setting to an exotic location to give one of her world-famous social media presentations? Or she could be gallivanting across Oregon on an Oregon beer tour with her equally as famous husband, the Oregon beer guy. Or maybe she's in a room full of friends and family who love and adore her, watching them make idiots of themselves as they attempt to wish her a happy birthday. We may never know.
I'd like to apologize to the family that joined my college basketball team on the luau in Hawaii, and that complained to the athletic director when I heard a song and I said that song was fan-fucking-tastic. I thought that was me. That was Heidi. So family, especially the little kids, on behalf of Heidi, I'm sorry.
Today, we are going to honor Heidi by taking a walk down memory lane and highlighting some of her most notable attributes. First up, as you all may know, Heidi is a world-class elite athlete. Let's take a look.
How did you first meet Heidi?
I just kind of popped out of her.
She kind of just materialized in the night at my abode.
There was this bright white light and screaming. I remember lots of screaming. I could feel this warm, nurturing presence. That was the doctor.
I think when I saw you, I thought you were the coolest person I'd ever seen. And so I went out and got a mullet too.
All right, what is your favorite thing about Heidi?
I like when she's mean to my dad because it puts him in his place.
Next on the list, hair icon. Heidi has been known for her luxurious, flowing locks for many years now. Many people go into salons demanding the Heidi Williams haircut. As you can see from these pictures, it's no surprise.
You know, I'd like to apologize to Dad. At West Central, when, you were putting together that hoop, I came around the corner, I saw it, I got excited, I said, holy shit. I got grounded for that. I thought that was my issue, it was Heidi's, so on behalf of Heidi, Dad, I'm sorry.
But what many of you may not know is that Heidi was not born with this beautiful hair. She did go through some very dark years when she was younger. Oh, I've just been notified these terrible hair years were of no fault of Heidi's. She actually was incredibly negatively influenced by her father.
The big one, I think this one probably, Heidi, you should apologize more than any of the others. When I had basketball practice and I got the hip pointer and I ran outside of the gym and I started machine gunning the word fuck repeatedly because it hurt so bad. And then I looked up and there was a karate class for 5-year-olds. And they all had to go through that experience and witness me screaming fuck repeatedly. So, kids, on behalf of Heidi, I'm sorry.
Why are you the most influential person in Heidi's life? My answer is that's not applicable. Heidi never listened to me or did anything I told her to do, so no influence.
When you started college, you said, "Don't call me Mom, I'll call you." And so that's how we worked it. Made sense to me.
Mom could have been the greatest news reporter in the metro area. She could have solved the Arab-Israeli conflict. She could have gone to space, played professional basketball. But instead, she had me.
And what is your biggest criticism of Heidi? This quiz is a little harder than I thought. I don't really have any criticism. Well, sometimes she's a little pushy. That's all.
What is your biggest criticism of Heidi?
She has this very weird dialect from the highlands of Montana. Like, she says crick instead of creek, and like roof and W. And I don't really know what all that means. I just keep hearing it.
Well, that's racist.
Next up, impeccable fashion sense. For years, Heidi has been known to put together the perfect outfit. She looks stunning at any event she goes to. Again, this was not always the case. Instead of showing the up-to-date ones, let's take a look at her history. Many questionable outfits here. It's a good thing she moved out of this stage.
What's your favorite memory of Heidi? I think one of my favorites was when she was a high school senior, playing in her last basketball game, state championship, very intense, very emotional game. And right at the end, a girl misses a layup. 1 second left, misses the layup, and they lose by 1 point. Everybody kind of broke down in tears, except Heidi actually put her arms around the girl that missed the layup and just kind of gave her some consolation, and I thought that was uniquely Heidi.
My favorite story about Heidi would have to be the death of Ping and his subsequent defenestration.
One time in Hawaii, we were just walking down the street as a family. It was a very nice moment, and then this bird came along and just pew, splat right on the head.
Another memory I have that was kind of funny was her first driver's test. She went from total exuberance and smiles and happiness into total misery. It was from ecstasy to agony in about 5 seconds. She flunked that first test. And you can actually tell that still because she's not that good of a driver yet.
My favorite memory was the trip you planned to Costa Rica with the boys for Christmas of 2008. It was the best Christmas ever, and I've always wanted to go back.
What is your favorite memory of Heidi?
We were on our trip to Costa Rica, and we were ziplining in the cloud forest. Now, this was our first time doing anything like that, so it was kind of scary. And there's this one section that's basically this big bungee jump, and then we hear this terrifying guttural shriek. It was absolutely the loudest sound we'd heard that day, possibly ever. That was Mom. That was Mom doing the bungee jump and echoing throughout the forest.
Do you remember this hat? You were sitting across from me while we waited for Randy. Randy and I had planned a little celebration, and so we had wine and candles. And then your face had a stricken panic look as you jumped up and rushed me to the kitchen to put out the flames. For the feathers on this hat had caught fire, wringing my head in flames. I couldn't have planned a more impressive image.
Why are you the best of Heidi's children?
Oh, I can't even count all the ways.
Have you seen the competition? Obviously we've been.
The two of us or you?
Me.
Oh.
You suck.
If you had to predict where Heidi would be 5 years from now, where would she be? Oh, that's an easy one. She'll be somewhere celebrating her 55th birthday.
She will be sitting on a patio at home, drinking wine, and surrounded by family who love her while Andre is cooking in the kitchen.
If you had to predict where Heidi would be 5 years from now, where would she be?
Nursing my father.
Sorry, Andre, if you're watching this.
How do you think Heidi is doing being 50? I think so. She's a miserable failure of being 50. She's supposed to be frail, feeble, forlorn, fragile, and she's not that at all.
She's probably turned it into a workout challenge.
She's not 50, she's 29. But she's doing amazing, and I wouldn't be anywhere today without her.
If you could tell Heidi anything, what would it be? Well, it's act your age, for Christ's sake. Anything would be. You're 50. You're going around pretending like, well, you're looking slim, buff. You don't forget anything. You're alert, but you're 50 years old. Act your age. It's actually kind of disgusting.
If you could tell Heidi anything, what would it be?
Good luck, man.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
Your life is one big W.
Never had a bad moment knowing you. There's never been a moment where there's been any unhappiness or sadness or anything that was negative in any way, and that's something that I always remember growing up with you in our lives, is that it was always a happy home.
From day one, you've always been someone that I can look up to, someone that I can talk to about anything, someone that has just treated all of us with so much kindness, so much love, so much support. And we thank you, and we hope that you know just how much you're appreciated and how much you're loved.
You're my love, you are my life, and I can't get enough of you. It's been, I don't know how many years since we started dating, and who'd have thunk that here we would still be with this life we've built together that is just the best. and I can't imagine it without you.
I hope for your 50th year that you get more time to write and do the things that you enjoy.
And lastly, and probably most importantly, my mother. This one kind of hurts a little bit. Mom, 36 years now. I'm sure you thought your daily foul language around the house when I was a child could have been the cause for this cursing monster you see in front of you now. And Mom, I just gotta say, it wasn't your fault. It was Heidi. So on behalf of Heidi, Mom, I'm sorry.
Next up, role model extraordinaire. Kids of all ages have looked up to Heidi Williams for many, many years now. She has been a shining light in the community of the world. Let's take a look. Oh. Gregory, did you put the wrong photos on here? Oh no, this does not look good. Can we just speed up through this one? Can we get through these real quick? Oh shit. Cut to commercial! Cut to commercial!
I love you, Heidi, and I couldn't be prouder to be your dad. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. I hope that you enjoy the party, and I promise I will get around to making that doctor's appointment or filling out that paperwork, or whatever you told me you needed me to do half a year ago that I've probably still not gotten around to doing. I will get around to that any day now. We love you, and you are doing great. And I've gone this entire video without telling the story about when you threw the fish out the window. I'll save it for your next big birthday. Love you, Mom. Happy birthday.
Now your mom's old, and you're 50, and looking at empty nest. I don't have to tell you to still be independent, because that's just who you are. I love you very much, Heidi. Happy birthday.
Hi, Heidi. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Heidi. Happy birthday to you. I love you, and I hope your 50th year is the best one yet. Love you, Heidi.
Happy 50th birthday, dear. I love you.
Again, congratulations on your promotion and happy birthday.
I hope you have an amazing day.
Pretty much got through this without crying, and I certainly couldn't do it in person there in front of this crowd of amazing, wonderful friends and family who we love and adore. And thank you all for being here, and thank you, Heidi, for being in our lives. We all adore you. Happy 50th, my love.